2 days ago, we gave you one of these for free. Yesterday, we offered you one of these for 50% off. If you want to find, hey, look, he got one as well. If you want to find out what we're going to give you today, stay tuned. Geo is not around later on for the build-up to a good game. So I guess this is sort of the morning build-up to a good game because he is going to the game. So we're going to have a little chat about the game. We're gonna use this as therapy. Not just me and Geo, you as well, because we're all pretty nervous about it. Let's be perfectly honest. We're going to have a little chat about side Benrahma as well, because Geo has found some statistics which proved, well, I'll let Geo tell you that. So Geo's going to the game. You are going to West Ham v Leicester at the London Stadium today. How are you feeling?
I'm looking forward to seeing people.
Okay, lovely. Yes. And you mean David Moyes?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going down the boats, having a few drinks, moaning, listening to other people moaning. It's like a group therapy session prior to the game. And in a really weird way, the good thing is, right, because we'll all be grumpy and negative, before you're in the stadium, your expectation's quite minimal. So it's sort of like, if we start well, wow, hello, here we go. This is brilliant, this is. So it's like Billy Connolly once said, expect nothing, you can't be disappointed. There's an element of that. There is an element of that. But even though I expect nothing, I will still be disappointed in this instance. But you know something? It's a big game for us. We don't need told. The fans don't need told that this is a big game. We know. Okay, we know. We start quick today. The first 10 minutes, we're having a pop at them, which, you know, one or two games, I can't remember which one it was. There was one game earlier this season. We came out of the trap flying for about 4 minutes, and then we flipping receded. But that 4 minutes was quite good. So, here we go.
Was that the one against Billericay Town?
I don't know who it was against. Maybe it was. But if we can just give us something early doors, the crowd will respond to it because we are desperate. We are desperate for positivity, for a win, for a good performance, for Paqueta doing something, Skamaka getting a goal, to see Aguerd start a Premier League game. We're desperate for stuff at the minute as a fan base, and we might not be experts, but we are fans, and we understand the situation we're in going into this one. So big game. We're looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you, I'm really nervous for the team sheet when it comes out at 2 o'clock, Gonzo. I'm anticipating some sort of bad news from a fan's perspective in that one.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking forward to reading it out live on it. Actually, talking about reading it out, just sit up a little bit so we can... Sorry, that's a bad mime. Don't do that, mime. Can you please sit up a little bit so I can read your T-shirt, please?
Yes, there you go, look.
Nice.
Ignore the chubbiness. Thanks for saying there isn't any. I appreciate that.
Oh, sorry. There isn't any chubbiness. But we do that T-shirt in reasonable sized variations.
Fat belly and fat chance of a win today.
Do you think, because I think there's two schools of thought on this, and when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, are we getting stubborn David Moyes, who's going to go into this Leicester game thinking, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing because at some point it's going to yield results? Because I've got to be honest here. I already got your answer because you've shook your head. You should have shook your head when the graphic was up.
It's a bit of both, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've got to say, I sometimes when you read something, and I don't mean your T-shirt here, sometimes when you read something, it just becomes more real than thinking it. But so yesterday, it was a list of the teams we've beaten this season. I thought, oh, that's crap, isn't it? Basically, it's really crap. And I read it, I thought, oh, that's bad. And then you read like the last 38 games, think, oh no, this is not very good at all. But so there's that. So there's two schools of thought. David Moyes goes into it. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to keep it tight at the start. Because he doesn't, as we discussed, perceive it to be starting slowly. He perceives it to be, well, that's how we're starting. We're starting tight at the back. It's not slow. We're just not going to, we're not going to attack. We're not going to put ourselves in any danger. So is he going to stick with that and think, well, this is going to come good at some point, and this is going to come good against Leicester? Or do you think he, in any way, shape, or form, realises whether you think the board are going to do anything or not? And I did the video yesterday about his job's probably not in danger, but in terms of the fans and in terms of the sort of the lack of hope he's serving up, if you want. Do you think that might encourage him to go a little bit more
No.
attacking or make a change?
Gonzo, you've heard what he thinks of the fan base. He literally calls us a lot of experts. Why would he listen to us? You can't sarcastically mock us and then go, actually, maybe they've got a point. He's told us what he thinks about us, which is we don't really know anything, or our footballing opinion isn't good enough. It's not worthy enough. We're wrong about the substitution. That was he said. There's a lot of experts out there today, isn't there? He might as well have just told us all to do one. What opinion? Oh, it doesn't really matter. Don't care what you think. Are you a football manager? No. And well, to some extent, I mean, he's got a point. We're not football managers. We are fans. But like I always say to you, when 90% of the fan base think the same thing, they're probably correct.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and he seems to have something about him in a reluctance. It's almost like begrudgingly. We suspect he begrudgingly uses Saïd Benrahma, or Saïd Benrahma's often the fall guy when things go wrong. But actually, he's been performing really well this season. But before Geo tells you some statistics about that, today is day 3 of our 12 days of Christmas offer, and what we got for you today is an annual discount to our Patreon page. And I say Patreon page, it's basically our 3rd channel. Now, this is a really exciting time to join Patreon. I would tell you that. It's our Patreon page, but I'm not joking. I mean it. We've got a really, what we consider to be, exciting announcement to make to our patrons. Well, we've already made it to our patrons, truth be known, but about our patronage at the start of next week. And because of that, and because the game falls on the weekend, this offer is open till Monday. It's 16% off if you sign up annually. There are 3 tiers to it. There's a standard tier, there's the mild addicts, and then there's the addicts. Each one gets you more videos, more stored discount, more features, more access to tickets than the previous tier. Basically, Geo, this is a really good offer. I think this one, offer number 3.
It's the maximum we can do. Patreon only allows 16% off annual bill as a maximum percentage, so it's literally the most we can give away as a discount. So yeah, if you're looking for a Christmas present for yourself, you're probably not watching this thinking, no, I'm going to get someone that Patreon. It's probably not a thing. The online store, perhaps. But for yourself, if you're ever thinking, maybe I'll join Hammers Chat Patreon, well, now's the time to nudge. Hey, here you go. Join me up now. Get me Hammers Chat Patreon now. Join me up for a year. You'll save a little bit of money. And also, if you're already a patron watching this and you're on the monthly charge, you can switch to the annual charge and take advantage of this offer too. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Links in description and the pinned comments, and just select annual billing in the discount is automatically applied there. So a massive thank you to anybody that does head over. The supporters tier for the year is $36.29. So that's for one payment, and it gets you in the next 12 months, and you'll get charged again today in 2023.
That's right, in 2023. Not today twice, obviously. Geo, Saïd Benrahma. Tell us about Saïd Benrahma.
Yes.
You've got some statistics.
I've got a graphic from a visual game, a really good Twitter account, well worth a follow if you're on there. They'd take the statistics, put it in a graph. And I think sometimes when you take statistics without context, it's very difficult. If I said to you, Soufar's crossing accuracy is this, I mean, okay, but is that good? Is that bad? What does it actually mean? So what people like a visual game do, we'll take Soufar, we'll take every other right back in the Premier League, we'll put it on a chart for you, and you can visually see if it's good or not, like that. So someone's done one with creative players in the top 5 leagues of football. So England, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. That's the leagues that they've taken. And they've taken dribbles leading to a shot and passes leading to a shot. So player A has a shot. Who passed it to him? That's the statistic they're looking for. So here we go. Let's get up on the screen now. So as you can see, shot creating actions. Down the vertical axis, you've got shot creating open play passes. So no set pieces. And along the bottom axis, short creating dribbles per 90. Now, I've done my bad Photoshop skills and applied a green arrow so you can see where Saïd Benrahma is. So there's Benrahma. Now, just to prove how good this is, there's a description at the very top of that chart which says top 2% for both shot creating dribbles and passes. So the top 5 leagues of European football, Saïd Benrahma is in the top 2% for dribbles and passes leading to a shot. As you can see there along the bottom, so it's just under 1 dribble per game he does, which leads to a shot, and the vertical axis is just under 4, so about 3.8 passes
and boys
per
and
game.
girls, regular watchers, let's get something into context here. There's a Dembele in there, which can't be discounted. And Benrahma's nearly as good as the Georgian geezer. And if that is not analytic, that's the analytics you didn't think you needed. If he's nearly as good as the Georgian geezer and slightly better than the Dembele, then I don't know what David Moyes is moaning about.
There's only one dribbler better than him, Kolo Muani. I don't know who he is, but he is the only person that's better at dribbling than Said Benrahma that leads to shots in the top 5 leagues of European football. His passing, if you go along the axis there, he's on a similar level to Phil Foden and just below Pedri, just ahead of Modric. So statistically, Said Benrahma is looking all right.
Best player in the world.
Well, he is looking like the best player in the world, yes.
Absolutely. It's funny when you said dribbles that lead. You said dribbles. I thought you were going to say dribbles that lead to shits, which is really bad. I mean, that's a bad thing. We don't want to see a graph for that. I've got to be honest with you.
I could do a bit of that right now.
Couldn't we all?
I've got a really random question for you, by the way. It's in relation to the game. Obviously, the World Cup squads come out. Madison's in it. Rice is in it.
Yes.
But in recent weeks, we've obviously seen players picking up injuries. Now, usual World Cup or Euro Championships, you pick up an injury, and let's just say you're out for 2 or 3 weeks. That's okay. You're still fit for the World Cup. You pick up a small knock, season ends, a month later, the World Cup kicks off. You're fine. You're recovered. But given that the World Cup is less than 2 weeks away, you pick up a 3-week knock this weekend, you're possibly going to miss at least 2 games of that group stage. Your World Cup spot is in jeopardy if you pick up an injury this weekend. And I spoke to Matty Piper last night, who's a former player, he used to play for Leicester City, and he was saying he's concerned that James Maddison, obviously from a Leicester's perspective, is probably going to just ease off a little bit this weekend. Ooh. He's in the England squad. He doesn't want an injury.
No.
I'm just gonna take a step back. Then when I thought about it, hang on a minute, the 3 players that were left out of West Ham's squad on Wednesday night against Blackburn Rovers was Paqueta, Declan Rice, and Tilo Kehrer, the 3 players in the World Cup. Now, I know Nave Aguerd was in that, so Nave Aguerd and Areola, but I think keeper's different. So Aguerd sort of bucks that theory a little bit. He says, well, hang on a minute, he was in this squad. But I think he's a bit different from the other 3 in the sense that who starts today for West Ham. Are you concerned at all that our World Cup players may be a little bit, whoa?
Well, I wasn't about 2 minutes ago, to be perfectly honest with you.
But do you know something? I wouldn't blame them, Gonzo. I would not blame them.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, it makes absolute sense. There you go. That's really nice because it's a 3 o'clock kickoff today, so that's another worry. I thought I'd plenty, but there's another one. I was slightly.
I'd be said to Flynn Downs, I assume maybe Thomas Souček in this instance, say, listen, mate, as soon as Maddison gets the ball, hit him hard, early doors, get in on him, bang. Get in crunching early doors, just so he goes, hang on a minute, I'm not having this. I don't fancy this for the rest of the game, because if I pick up an injury, I've worked my nuts off. I've only just got into that World Cup squad. I ain't losing my place today. I'm not risking 3 points at West Ham when there's a further 23 games to make up for it, possibly missing out on going to the World Cup. No, thank you. No way, Jose. I would put in one the early doors on Maddison, possibly Tielemans as well. I assume him and Castagna are in the Belgian squad. I would be putting in tough tackles on any players going to the World Cup with Leicester. I'd be going in hard early doors on them just to say, there you go, son. Let's see what you're made of.
Well, this is really, really good conspiracy stuff, because if I was Flynn Downs, I think what I would do is I would injure Declan Rice in training, and then I would sort of exactly semi-kill James Maddison. That's 2 sort of England midfielders out of the equation, and then afterwards I'd probably walk around the perimeter of the pitch like carrying the Three Lions flag, just so as you don't know Gareth. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he's got any mates who can pop down to Southampton, give Ward Prowse the old.
About to say, do you think Jared Bowen's on phone to whoever's coming fucking Saka this weekend, saying, would you mind crunching Saka for me, please?
Absolutely.
He's nicked me spot.
Honestly, it's what do they think? It's like a wrestling thing where they all bundle in.
Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble. That's what you basically need. The Royal Rumble. And someone running in over the rope, and Jared Bowen's hit Bakary Saka with a chair, and and all the rest of it. Flynn Downs is climbing up a ladder and jumping on top of Phillips. Who he probably doesn't need to. Probably just blow on Phillips, and that'll be him out for the World Cup. So I think they're missing a trick. I'll tell you what, that's a pay. I'll probably pay for that rather than try and stream it illegally. That'd be a good
the one thing though, because sort of wrestling's pre-decided, it means that Ivan Toney can get a bet on it. Allegedly.
Oh, okay, right. Because I didn't know. So yesterday, as you know, I had to drive to day before yesterday. I had to drive. We record this a day earlier. It's very confusing for me. I drove to Bristol, near Bristol, to pick up a pinball machine. And on the way back, I was listening to the announcement of the squad, which was on Talk Sport. It was really nauseating. It was terrible. So one of the presenters on there was really unhappy about Ivan Toney not being included. But honestly, they were on for like 2 or 3 hours, and it was said, I don't know, to the point where actually later on in the summary, so Adrian Durham said to his co-host, "Can you summarise?" And they said, "Well, I'm really annoyed about Ivan Toney. It's been going on for 3 hours, and I'm driving. I know, we all know." So anyway, but it was not said what he'd done wrong. So there was this thing. Do you think that Gareth Southgate has left Ivan Toney out the England squad because of the recent story? And I think Adrian Durham and Danny Higginbottom was on there as well. And they say, well, I think maybe probably decided before that. And what's his name? Callum Wilson's form and all the rest of it. But I didn't know. So what's he done? What's that naughty boy done? Gambled something?
There's only allegations at present. The allegations are that the FA have been conducting an investigation that Ivan Toney has been gambling on football, and the reports have made it clear that it's not in relation to Brentford or Brentford games. So it's not like he's betting on his own team to lose or anything, but he's been putting a bit of money on the football. But it's just allegations at this point. But what I will say is stuff like this, I hate stuff like this. What reporter's done that a few days before the England squad's announced and whatever? So Southgate was considering picking him, and then that comes out. Southgate's now thinking, well, I can't pick him now. What happens if I take him and it turns out he has done something wrong? The whole England thing's tarnished. So I hate it. I hate how the media do that. Someone's had that story. The investigation's apparently been going on for 7 months. I don't believe for 1 second that journalist has just got a hold of that story a few days before the squad's announced, despite the investigation going on for 7 months prior. Rubbish. They've had that story for a while and thought, I'll keep it and release it just before for maximum exposure. And I hate why you're supposed to be rooting for England to do well. Why are you trying to undermine them before they even got on the plane? It's baffling, because I think Toney should have been in the squad. Allegations to one side, footballing reasons only. He should have been in the squad. His penalties are unbelievable. It's a knockout competition. You're going to penalties, get him on the pitch. It's almost guaranteed one penalty scored, guaranteed. Get him on the pitch. But anyway, so yeah, I thought I'd make a joke, but there you go.
Yeah, well, I didn't see, but you've enlightened me. I've got to say though, I was we'll end now. We'll stop it as Geo's got to get to the game. You've got to leave in a minute, haven't you?
I do. Got to leave in a minute. Yeah.
It's that thing of recording the day before, a little joke, you see. So I listened to this thing on Talk Sport, and I got to say, by the time I arrived home, it wasn't just like the 3 hours when Southgate announced his squad. They had a different team before in the build up to it, and handed over to Adrian Durham. So I don't know, it was like 145 minutes. What's that? Like an hour and 45 minutes there, and like 2 hours back plus there. So I had a lot of time listening to. I got to say, I was World Cupped out. I've had enough. I'm serious. I'm bored of this World Cup now. It's not even started. So there you go. So Ben, we could be featuring it on Hammer's Chat.
Yes. But anyway, shall we leave it there, my friend?
Yeah. Enjoy the game.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. All he got to do, boys and girls, is put a bit of hope inside Benrahma.